Welcome back to another episode of Can't Take Your Call Right Now with me, Harry Monkhouse.
And me, Lauren Reeves.
It feels like ages since we last recorded. Don't you feel like
I know,
that?
when did Well, I just got back off skiing, didn't I?
It feels like, honestly, it
Yeah.
feels like a blur.
Do you know what? I feel like the last week and a bit. It's because we didn't record last week. Normally we record a week in
Yeah.
advance. We've been naughty this time. We're recording this the night before, which is really poor. Whereas normally we always record at least a week in advance. So we should have really recorded this last week,
But it is end of quarter, so please let us off.
yeah. And you were meant to be away as well, so I
Yes.
think it's all got a bit thrown around,
Yeah, I was
basically.
meant to be landing this morning, but
Yeah,
hopefully World War
it's all
III
got,
ends pretty soon.
I hope so as well, given the fact that petrol's going up.
And the rest. Stock
And
prices
there,
are down, everything. So this is a little bit of our new format, right? We're not doing series anymore. We're just rolling
no,
through. This is, how would you describe this, Lauren? Because the way I've been describing kind of like our new format is like, our goal is we are two people that have gone from SDRs to SDR managers, and we're just talking and riffing about all things that we've learned. And this is more around like, if you need people to listen to or hear other perspectives, like we're your people to be going doing that. It's like coffee chat in the office about
yeah,
sales, come along for the ride kind of vibe.
yeah. I'd also say it's being honest. Like, it's actually people that are probably going to be honest and genuine about their opinions and what they think. And I also think what's nice is, and this is what other people have always said to me as well, is it's just the two of us. Obviously, we've had the odd guest
Yeah.
on, and we will continue to get the odd guest on. But the point of the podcast isn't to get a guest on that we then
Yeah.
interview. The point is for me and you to just chat,
Mhm.
exactly like Rip. And then if we feel like there's somebody or some people that we'd like to bring on because we like their opinions, or we don't like their opinions, we want to argue with them, then like we'll do that.
Yeah.
Whereas I think a lot of sales podcasts are just like chatting with another salesperson and asking loads of questions. And that's not the point. I think we actually just want to talk about what we're seeing, how we're dealing with it, the high, like we always said, the highs and lows, the reality. I think we always said this about like therapy.
Yeah.
So
100%.
great as this was, and the series I think is a great way to kick it off, because then we were focusing on specific topics.
Mhm.
I think we want to bring it back to sort of the point originally, which was to be a podcast and to be the two of us talking every week
Yeah.
about things that are going on, not just our cold calling tips.
Yes. Yeah. I think we could probably, I think what we realized, right, by doing the series is like, there's so many podcasts that we technically are competing with or do the same type of thing. It's like you could type in like cold calling podcast and see pretty much everything in there, and you could go and find probably like a gazillion podcasts that solve for that. I think there's, like you said, the series allowed us to work out what people are warming towards, what people like. We've got a very, very clear runner in the fact of like, when we look at our content back, we've done 19 episodes, did you say? 18?
This is
Number 19. So we've done 18 episodes, and we've had double the amount of people listen to our cold calling one over our second best, which is our email one, which shows that people are still wanting a lot of cold calling content and other points like that. But we've started to work out what you as listeners would like to hear and who we think we might need to bring on for that, or what we can just generally chat shit about.
Yeah. Also, I'm here for myself.
Yes, exactly. We don't care if anyone listens.
Yeah, actually, we don't care about you. But on the fact that we don't care, let's talk about some of the stats that we really don't care about, and some of the things we've done that we really don't care about. I think it's cause for celebration that we hit 300 followers on LinkedIn.
That's huge.
I think it was yesterday. When did I message you about it? Today?
No, was it this morning? I think so.
Yeah, so we hit 301, so we've officially surpassed 300, which, bearing in mind, we've had this podcast for 4 months. So that's a pretty good average at the moment. I think our goal is to get to 1,000 as quick as possible, which I think we're on track for.
Yeah.
So that's great. LinkedIn, 300.
Yeah. How many followers we got? I think TikTok's we're just about to hit 80. So again,
Yep.
now I've learned how to schedule on TikTok. That helps with
Yeah.
operationalizing
was
that. So we'll start to see more content of that. What's been really interesting though is that posting content on our personal accounts has actually been better than posting it on like a podcast page, which is really interesting in the way that looking at how it grows or how it feeds into the algorithm. So that's been a learning. We've got Spotify. How many have we got on Spotify now?
I think we've got almost 80 on
Wow.
Spotify.
So it is getting there. I mean, it's interesting to see that you see. I don't know how. I've had people speak to me about the podcast who have not necessarily listened to episodes, but have watched pretty much all of the content on LinkedIn, which I find really interesting in the way that people are like consuming it. Again, it's difficult for us to track the different people, but it's been really good. I feel like a lot of the reception that we've been getting around a lot of the topics is like, yeah, there's some really helpful points. I've taken that away. We've had a lot of people message us saying like, oh, that was interesting. What about this? So yeah, some real positives.
I think it's nice that a lot of you have also said that you like the fact that we're just saying what we think. We're being pretty authentic in our opinions, and it doesn't feel like an overly edited, scripted podcast.
It's far from the opposite.
What we never yeah. We also had feedback to stop swearing.
Yes.
Yeah, guys, I'm really sorry. That's not happening.
No, it's not fucking happening.
I'm so shocked by the prospect. I'm dying.
Yeah.
No, I think we always wanted the intention to be that it was the most authentic versions of ourselves. And unfortunately, we both swear a lot.
Well,
sorry about that.
Our average listener age is from the age of 23 to 44. But our biggest age range, or our 50% of our listeners, are between the ages of 28 and 34. Of the people that have given us feedback around swearing too much are all over the age of 45, which is only 2.6% of our total listeners, which is just so funny. So
thanks for feedback. It doesn't count.
So yeah, we definitely are very unscripted, as we've been given some feedback, even by some guests, being like, "Hey, I'd like some more structure because I have more structure on other podcasts." And then there's some other people who are like, "Oh, this is great! Like, you don't prep us. Like, it's great. We can come on, just like chat shit, and just bounce ideas off each other." Which I think have worked really well if people like engage with that. And then there's some people that are wanting more structure. So we're still, I think, overall, really finding our feet on what we need to do. I think the hardest thing has been some of like the action items off the back of this, just due to like how much editing takes, how much space video takes. That's something that we never considered around like sending that across.
Yeah, and then I think that obviously Sunday evenings are spent sat scheduling content and writing content for the week.
Yeah.
So then if you have a bit of like a manic Sunday, then that kind of can throw content out. So I think yeah, like it's
like this weekend.
Anyone who's like an absolute machine at this, because honestly, I go through like bursts on my personal TikTok of actually posting most days, and then I just suddenly have a life again, and I'm busy at work and whatever, and so it'll take a dip. How you people consistently post your personal lives on social media?
It's crazy.
And your job, I don't know. I don't know how you do it. It's mental. But yeah, so no, it's been really good. I think we're both loving where it's going. I think hopefully the new format will just feel like genuine, authentic conversation as well. Yeah, 4 months in.
Yeah, and we're
like 50% of the way, Harry, of hitting a year.
I know, and that was our yearly goal, was 52 episodes this year, of which I think this is the first time we're maybe a little bit behind schedule. Like, I feel like we've been quite advanced, but that's just due to the fact that you've just moved house, it's end of quarter, I've got stuff going on, it's just been manic. But I feel pretty confident that we'll easily go and achieve that goal, and no doubt the numbers will follow as part of that. I mean, just to share with everyone, I think a couple of the ideas that we're definitely wanting to explore further, but again, we're not sure at what stage we do these. We would love to build a community of people that listen to this, but again, super hard. We've both well, you were still part of it, but we've both been part of, that's how we met, right? Running and helping build communities. We've had, want to build merch, courses, build other arms, maybe other podcasts, like get additional guests on to speak about different topics. I'd love to do like a round table dinner. Again, I don't think necessarily that will be paid for by us, but again, get a sponsor.
Yeah, if we actually do get a real sponsor, then that's a bit different. Maybe we could get dinner.
Yeah, maybe we could. But I think there's some really exciting things that we have thought about and are thinking about to help bring listeners together and collaborate together. But again, I think we both know how much a community is to run, and probably not on the top of the list. But let's churn out a year's worth of content, get a sponsorship, get some swag.
Get some, some t-shirt, jumper.
Yeah. I don't know. I was trying to think of what we would do from a t-shirt perspective. Of like, what part of the logo would we put on?
I think I'd have on the back.
Yeah.
So it's like a t-shirt on the front, but then like the logo on the back
with our faces on it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Harry, have you seen me? I deserve to be on a t-shirt. Put me on a t-shirt, Harry. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if I want to see myself on a t-shirt.
I look really cool in that AI version.
It's so funny. I mean, we'll have to share some of the additional AI images that have been created of us. Like some of them are absolutely horrendous. Like somehow I get to such a B-Tech me as well. Like some of them are just like a standard white guy with a beard and just slightly long hair.
You also lose your teeth as well. Yeah. I don't know why.
I've lost your teeth. Always lose my teeth. I was trying to say I had big teeth. So I've got, with this new format, how we're thinking about it is we'll jump into a couple of topics that we want to be speaking about. But there's some additional sections that we want to introduce as part of this. So what we want to incorporate is stuff that we are consuming as sales managers. So me and Lauren spend a hell of a lot of our time either speaking to other managers, hearing things from our team, or seeing stuff online. And what comes with that is, again, loads of ideas. So there's stuff that I take on probably on a weekly basis, whether that's video content, text format, and I try and implement that with the team. So we want to start sharing some of the kind of key learnings that we are finding and incorporating and highlighting those to you, whether that's in the comments or through here, and share that and see if it's valuable and how we're implementing it and what we're taking away from it. Again, some of this might be super controversial, right? Of like, oh my God, did you see this company saying this? Like, totally disagree with that. Like we probably will highlight some people that tell us cold calling is dead and have a go at them about that. That was a complete sidetrack. I'm going to be meeting with a manager over the next couple of weeks. I'm sure they'll listen to this, but they are an email first only business and very rarely make cold calls. And I am absolutely fascinated to work out why they do that, how they do that, and what results they see from that. Because I'm totally the opposite. Like I've never been big into email writing.
Yeah.
And I'm just fascinated on how they drive. I have to say, the email that I got, I ended up booking a meeting with the rep because it was really well tailored and probably what we can do once I've had all of my meetings, we can probably start to share these. We do have a share feature on here, so we can start populating. So if you are watching, you can have a little look at the visual as part of that, or we can put it in the descriptions as well, so you can have a little look. But thoughts on that? Email first?
So when I was an SDR at one organization, they also were email first and they would not let me cold call. And it didn't do very well. So I mean, my experience of that hasn't been positive. I haven't seen good results. Do I see good results from email? Yes, we do see good results from email at my organization, in my team. But we see a lot more results from the...
Yeah.
I'm not anti-email. I'm just not rely on email. Like it concerns me when emails, I just think that like in this day and age, it's just so easy to delete an email. I know, I do it.
Yeah.
I do it myself.
I blocked 10 people this morning. I woke up and you get all of these emails come through. I have not read one cold email today. I've just blocked all 10 people that have messaged me. And then half the time, I've got I've got an auto filter set up that if like anything is suspicious of spam, it goes to like a spam folder.
Mm.
I went in there the other day. There are so many people where I've either subscribed to their newsletter or like even there's a rep I'm speaking to at the moment. Her emails just do not get past my spam filter at all. And I'm having to like create a please can you exclude this email address, even though that we're actually having a back and forth.
Exactly. So yeah, I think there's a place for email. I don't think you can get rid of it. I think it's still there. So I think it's prevalent. But yeah, I mean, I'm very intrigued when you have your meeting and then you get to tell us all about how that works.
I'll share it. I think my reply was, because the AE was also emailing me, I think my reply was, I thought your email was better than your AE's. We're happy to take a meeting. Can you share why you didn't view my LinkedIn, connect with me, or cold call me? So I got a little bit of feedback, and then I got introduced to the BDR director, and now I'm going to have a conversation, hopefully, with them. I still think I would definitely want to see the product, right? And there's a conversation to be had there. But I thought it was super interesting.
That is very interesting.
Yeah. It was good to see a BDR producing better quality emails from a personalization perspective than an AE. I thought the AEs was quite poor, actually. Very generic. Very like, here's how we help SDR managers. And I was a bit like, oh.
Yeah, but that happens. AEs get lazy with things like outbound.
Yeah.
We're used to having an SDR do.
I agree.
I see it so often.
I agree. So there's another thing that I have been seeing in LinkedIn that I thought was super interesting. So Joey Gilkey, who is the CEO of TitanX. If you don't follow him, I do highly recommend following him. He produces some really, really good content. Also, sometimes some controversial content. So always good viewing on that side. But one of the things he was talking about was call dispositions. And what was actually really interesting, and again, this is where I think sharing our screen might be helpful because I've kind of gone and built a whole thing. He was breaking basically down call dispositions into a couple of key areas. And what I thought was really interesting is when he put it together, he was talking about basically a pie chart graph. So let me explain what this means. So his disposition categories were meeting set, activated leads, not right now, not interested, not me, referral. There's 6 different call dispositions in there. Now, you as an organization, we 13 to 15 different call dispositions. So it was about bucketing those call dispositions into those disposition categories. And what he was talking about is you should be able to look at what is your percentage of calls that are filtering into these different dispositions. So when I was looking at mine, so we had like our meeting set was falling into meeting set, activated leads was into our positive conversations, and then like our not interested was not interested competitor, and then like not for me was like no longer a company or wrong contact, and then referral was referral. So I had a combination of different call dispositions, but only a handful of them actually fall into had connected dispositions because we have like no answer, voicemail, callback, etc. They don't really count as proper conversations. But what he was talking about is if you think about a pie chart, what you can start to work out is where the meetings or the conversations are coming from. So if you're getting a load of not interested, again, there's probably some subcategories in your not interested category that you can start to work out, okay, not interested due to what? And you can start to figure out that might be an area to solve. But if it's a lot of referrals and not me, it could be to do with either bad data or bad messaging. So he was then talking about, which I found really, really interesting, is if you go and put an Excel sheet together, so I've got all of my data here so I can work out where my reps are falling into dispositions. He was like, very simply, if you think about like not me and referral, if you were to just change the messaging, again, that normally if that's high percentage, it's due to messaging wrong, maybe even ICP related or maybe bad data. But if you go and dig into those things and fix those things, then technically, if you reduce the amount of people that you are targeting that are either not me or referral, and you start getting to the right people, then naturally your conversations percentage will move more into not right now, not interested, activated leads and meeting set. It was a really, really interesting way that I've never seen call dispositions put to work out where your coaching moments are, but also how you fix certain things to then, of course, natural causes. Natural stats is if you reduce one percentage, that percentage that you've now removed has to fall into the other categories. And I thought that was really, really interesting. So I've actually gone and rebuilt all of our core dispositions based off that LinkedIn video, ready for a dialer to come into place.
That is very interesting. I've been saying for the longest time about our core dispositions. The issue what I have is in HubSpot, you can't remove the core dispositions that they create. So they've got like connected, hung up, not interested, meeting booked. There's a couple, right?
Yeah.
But you can't delete them and then actually just like write your own. So then you're stuck with these like 7 dispositions forever.
Can
you can't
you
do
add
anything
to
about
them though?
You can add,
Yeah.
but like I suppose I'm all adding's not a bad thing, and like this is what I have had a conversation about, like adding and getting a bit more granular with the dispositions, because at the moment we're just being very like overarching, but it's just quite frustrating because I would like to be able to like actually edit some of HubSpot's ones, but is what it is. And then the thing is that obviously we've got Nooks, but Nooks threads into HubSpot, so you have to connect the Nooks dispositions to the ones in HubSpot. So it's not even like you can like do it differently on Nooks. So, but I really like that way of thinking. I haven't thought about the fact that you could probably make strategy decisions based on the amount of a core disposition that you've been getting. I think I know that, but I've never really thought about how like granular you could be with it. So no, that's really interesting. I'll go search up the post and I'll give it a proper watch.
I've sent it to you on LinkedIn.
Okay.
I think what I'm now then trying to do, so we're about to move from 14 dispositions down to 13 with an extra brand new disposition. So one of the big things that I took away from this is we do not have a category section for not right now. And what I was left me thinking, because we have one for positive conversation. Positive conversation for us means like, is maybe there's a timeline issue, maybe there's a priority issue, maybe there's a pain, but it's not like, maybe it's not due to time, maybe it's a budget. Like you can still have these positive conversations, but someone might be like, hey, here's all this information, but it's not for me right now. So what we're now looking at doing is adding that not right now so that we know what is our timing bucket. So what I can do is I can start to work out the not right now equal to what time period. So we can start to work out which ones are falling into which quarter. So we might be able to say in like, once we've gone through this over like a 6-month period, I might be able to say, Lauren, I think we've probably got 10 Q1 projects for next year where I think the timing is going to be better. But also I can now say to the reps, like, how many of these do you actually have? And what is the strategy that you're doing to continue to nurture these people? Because one of the biggest problems that I am finding at the moment is like, I say to you, not right now, and nothing gets really done with it until the time comes round. And I might be saying like, hey, we don't get budget for 9 months. But if the budget comes available in 9 months, you want to be front and center and you want them in your ecosystem. So what is your like nurture strategy that you need to be delivering as part of this? And then on top of getting a new dialer, that's going to be super helpful in being able to figure out like not right time, and then they fall into a different cadence from a call perspective when the time does come right. So it's a different kind of like nurture plus re-engagement strategy, just based on, again, this is all based on watching a video on LinkedIn, taking something away from it, and then actually thinking, actually, that does kind of apply to our world. And actually, I do think there's a couple of those tweaks makes a lot of sense, and a couple of strategy decisions that we can make off that data. So it's super interesting.
No, that is really interesting. I think I'll go away and have a think as well, like what we can do with dispositions. I like.
Yeah, it's a very niche thing, right? And again, if you haven't maybe got the same flexibility, again, you could just, I'm sure they keep that for a certain reason. There must be. And again, I suppose if you're working at Sales Loft, which is now Clary, and outreach and stuff like that. That's definitely a USP for why people would probably move away from HubSpot, right? It's that customized flexibility.
Yeah, for sure. Sadly, I don't have a news story to share.
No.
Oh, an article.
I think we just do.
Sorry,
I don't think we've got time for. No. I don't think we've got time to do probably one each. I think it will probably be a case of how me coming with one and then maybe you coming one. But again, we send each other so much crap anyway. There'll be loads of stuff for us to talk about, even all the TikToks that we send each other. I think the final piece of this, right, which was our kind of like final section that we are very excited to be introducing into this new format, which is, again, we might need to come up with a slightly better name, but this was originally brainstormed. Again, the name of the podcast was me, Lauren, and then I got my sister to help as well. But originally my thinking was that we have a section called Can Take Your Call Right Now. Again, it might be a little bit of a mouthful and people might get confused a little bit. But the premise of this was for one of the listeners or someone to email, DM us, whatever it might be, a question around, hey, this is my cold calling strip. I'm struggling with this, or here's an email. Can you break down my email? Or here's a LinkedIn message, or here's something I'm struggling with internally around managing my manager, or hey, I'm trying to get a promotion. Here's what I've done so far. What else would you go and do? Whatever that might look like. And me and Lauren chat about that and see if we can solve that. It's kind of like, what is it called? Ask. Is it an Ask Annie? Is that the
So
Agony Aunt? Oh my
Aunt.
God! Ask Annie.
So Sales Sally Sales,
something like that. Maybe we rethink the name there.
We do actually have an email, so it's can'ttakeyourcallpod@gmail.com. So we'll leave that in the show notes.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, in the show notes. But obviously, like Harry said, you can message the LinkedIn page. You can message us both individually on LinkedIn as well. And we've also got the email. So yeah, we would just really love to start hearing the shit that you guys have got going on, basically, whether you're a leader and you're just keen to hear how we would deal with the situation, or whether, yeah, you're a rep who wants advice or support or something. We just thought, let's take your call.
Yeah.
Let's hear you. Basically. So yeah, we're going to launch that. So
we definitely need to get, like, actually coming back to your point, which we were talking about offline, we definitely need like a phone ring to be inserted for this part.
Yeah.
Like, think about how sick that would be. Ring.
Basically, we'd start figuring out how to use sound effects.
Yes. Or what would be even better is if we could actually get a guest on just for that section. Or they record a video.
Voice note in. We can play your voice note.
Yeah, we could do something like that. Yeah, we got loads. Maybe we need to get a Can't Take Your Call Right Now mobile number on WhatsApp so people can message in or something like that.
Maybe
we're getting maybe we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves. We've got 4 listeners.
And you can be like, right now.
Guys, this is where our minds go. We honestly think we're number 1 rated podcast in the UK.
You forget that we've got 40 regular listeners.
40 people that listen to us regularly, but we're nearly at 1,000 listens. So we've nearly had 1,000 people listen to us. So, which is, again, that'll be an unbelievable achievement. You've been saying before, and you remind me, like, fill a room with 1,000 people. We'd be chuffed to bits with that. We would.
Honestly, 200 people LinkedIn followers, we'd be chuffed.
Oh,
I think. And just if 20 people were stood in front of you, like, actually listening to what we had to say for 30 minutes, we'd be like, wow, that was a really great talk I just did. So yeah, I think it's there's no point, can't belittle the work we're doing, because it's still there. But yeah, so that is our new section. We'll launch it from next week.
Yeah.
So we would love if you could email in or message either of us.
Put it in the comments.
And yeah, put it in the comments, and we will pick one, even maybe 2 if there is, and we will dive in and take your call and give you our very well wanted opinions.
Yeah, and then you have to listen to when we'll probably, actually, do you know what? If you make it so it's not anonymous, you can make it anonymous, of course, but if you don't, then we can also DM you and let you know that we answered your question on the podcast as well.
For sure. But there you go. So bear with us as we figure out how we can add some jingles and how we can add some sound effects.
Yes.
And how we can make this just me and Harry every week, regular themes, regular sort of sections in the episodes. But now we're just a podcast. We're not doing series anymore. This is it.
Yeah, we might as well take all of those series and put them into like a learning course and something like that, because that would be good. But I think one day we're going to have to post some of the jingles that I have started to get AI to build. They are horrendous. They are horrendous. Like I'm in my head, right? There is a phone that rings at the start of this episode and then goes into like some groovy tune that a bit like catchy hold music. There was a thought that we make the podcast theme tune the hold music. You know that? No?
No.
You clearly haven't been cold calling in a while. That's the, you know, when you like the gatekeepers, like, sorry, hold the line, or like we're trying to connect you to the right person. That lives rent free in my head. And I was thinking, why don't we just use that as the song? Because that is what most of our listeners listen to, is the hold music.
Surely we can get that.
Surely we can. Surely we can.
That can't be under copyright. Surely that's out there in the world for everyone to use.
Must be.
Anyway, I agree. That's the vibe. A bit of a phone ring and a bit of hold music for the first 10 seconds to make you feel like you're listening to a proper professional podcast.
Rather than our introduction.
Indeed.
Cool. Well, guys, it's a little bit of a shorter podcast than probably what you're used to, but appreciate you hearing kind of what our new format is going to be. We're excited to be delivering it for you officially all next week. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Until next week.
See you, team. Bye.